Hi friends, this is Placa de España, or popularly called the Spanish Square, which is one of the most important squares in Barcelona. Spanish Square, as it is popularly known, was designed by Joseph Cadafal in 1915 and built in 1929 so that it could be ready to host the 1929 Barcelona International Exposition. The square has been in public use since then and serving as a gateway to the Montjuic Hill. It is the junction of several major thoroughfares. The Montjuic cable car has been the most special way to discover the charms of Barcelona. Its 750 meters of route allows you to gaze at unparalleled views, culminating the journey in the Montjuic Castle on the top of a mountain that represents the living history of the city. You have a view of the city of Barcelona from the cable car. Hi friends, this Montjuic Castle is an old military fortress with roots dating back from 1640, built on top of Montjuic Hill, which is 173 meters or 568 feet above the sea level. Now, Montjuic Castle is owned by Barcelona City Council. Standing on a vantage point 568 feet above the port, Montjuic Castle commands stunning views of the city. Now, a peaceful place, the memory of this fortress endures in Barcelona as a symbol of repression, but also of the city's struggles during different periods in its history. This stone and clay construction was put to the test in the Battle of Montjuic the following year, during the continuing conflict of the 30 Years' War between France and Spain. The strategic fortress was taken and lost multiple times between the years 1705 and 1714 during the War of Spanish Succession, when it was ultimately occupied by the victors, the Bourbons. As the castle had suffered severe damage during the war, the city ordered a series of major renovations between the years 1751 and 1779. Between 1780 and 1799, the castle was expanded even further as the castle's population grew to over 3,000 people. It was infamously used as a site of execution, such as of the educator and suspected anarchist Francis Guardia, accused of plotting the assassination of King Alfonso XIII. In 1919, more than 3,000 people were imprisoned in the castle in response to a massive workers' strike that escalated into violent protest. The structure was used as a military prison under the Franco regime. For many years, it was a symbol of repression, casting an ominous shadow over the city. Montjuic Castle is now a popular tourist destination thanks to its stunning 360-degree views of the Mediterranean Sea and the Barcelona city. Madrid is the capital and most populous city of Spain. It is the second largest city in the European Union. Madrid lies on the river Manzanares in the central part of the Iberian Peninsula at about 2,120 feet above mean sea level, making it one of the highest capitals in Europe. The Madrid urban agglomeration has the second largest GDP in the European Union, and its influence in politics, education, entertainment, environment, media, fashion, science, culture, and the arts all contribute to its status as one of the world's major global cities. Due to its economic output, high standard of living, and market size, Madrid is considered the major financial center and the leading economic hub of the Iberian Peninsula and of southern Europe. Madrid houses the headquarters of the UN's World Tourism Organization. In 2018, Madrid city received 10.21 million tourists, out of which 54% of them were international tourists. Madrid hosts the largest Plaza de Toros, that is a bull ring in Spain, Las Ventas by name, established in 1929. Las Ventas is considered by many to be the world center of bullfighting and has a seating capacity of 23,798 spectators. Madrid's bullfighting season begins in March and ends in October. Bullfights are held every day during the festivities of San Isidro, that is Madrid's patron saint, from mid-May to early June, and every Sunday and public holiday the rest of the season. Las Ventas also hosts music concerts and other events outside the bullfighting season. In a bullfight, the matador, which means killer in Spanish, enters and attempts to kill the bull by stabbing him in the back with a long sword. Starved, beaten, isolated, and drugged before the fight, the bull suffers from a protracted death in the bullfighting arena, weakened and tormented both physically and mentally, being pierced with spiked lances. In each stage of the event, the bull experiences intense fear and physical pain. They are also subjected to exhaustion, dehydration, and eventually a slow and painful death. To enjoy such a barbaric act, in my opinion, is sadism to say the least. The most common bull used in the Spanish bullfighting is the breed called Toro Bravo, a type of cattle native to the Iberian Peninsula. Prized Toros Bravos, the breed used for fighting, can be worth around $20,000 each. Bullfighting in Spain has origins as early as 711 AD, when a bullfight took place to honor King Alfonso VIII. Bullfights are regarded as part of Spain's cultural heritage. It is believed that some 534 professional bullfighters have died as a result of the sport in the past 300 years. The top matadors in Spain are treated and paid like rock stars, earning more than $100,000 per bullfight and often performing 30 to 40 times a year. Their training is generally a 7-year-long process. The Catalan Regional Parliament voted in 2010 to ban bullfighting on the grounds that it represented unjustified cruelty to animals. Thus, bullfighting is banned in Barcelona. The statue that you see here, right in front of the Plaza de Toros de las Ventas in Madrid, is a monument to the bullfighter Jose Cubero, 1964 to 1985, known as Yayo, who died at the age of 21 in the bullfighting arena in Madrid. The monument was made in bronze by the sculptor Luis Antonio, which is 7 meters high. Located on a cross-shaped granite base, the monument depicts a bull with its front legs raised, holding a figure in front of it with its right arm raised. The figure of Jose Cubero is raised above the central pillar of the monument, and he is holding a muleta, having just avoided the charging bull which is now behind him. Madrid was officially made the national capital by King Philip III. Madrid has the second highest number of aligned trees in the world, only exceeded by Tokyo. Real Madrid Club de Football, commonly referred to as Real Madrid, is a Spanish professional football club founded in 1902 based in Madrid. The club was selected as the best club of the 20th century, being the 5th most valuable sports club in the world. What you are going to see now is the Fountain of Neptune, which is in the neoclassical style, located in Madrid. It lies on the center of the Plaza de Canovas de Castillo. The sculptural group in its center represents Neptune, a Roman water deity. The crowned Roman god wields a trident with one hand while he grabs a sea snake with the other hand. It was designed by Ventura Rodriguez. The sculpture is made of white marble and bronze. Westin Palace Hotel and the Riz are the two of Madrid's most historic hotels located near the Fountain of Neptune. This Cibeles fountain is one of the city's most famous landmarks in Madrid. It depicts Cybele, the great mother of the gods, and she is also the Roman goddess of fertility. She is atop a chariot drawn by 2 lions. An interesting fact is that the Real Madrid football fans gather around this monument to celebrate their club's major victories. Plaza Mayor is a historical square in Madrid. In the middle of the square, you will also find the statue of King Philip III. He was the King of Spain during the 17th century, and his bronze statue is on horseback. It is one of the main statues in Madrid that indicates its history. The Plaza Mayor dates back to the 15th century. The Plaza Mayor has suffered three major fires in its history. Today, the Plaza Mayor is rectangular in shape and measures 423 feet by 308 feet.
രണ്ട് ഭൂമി മറത്തത്ത്
The Royal Palace of Madrid is the largest in Western Europe and one of the largest in the world. The vast palace measures over 135,000 square meters or 1.5 million square feet and has 3,418 rooms. It has witnessed centuries of Spanish history. It is one of the few official seats of a head of state that is open to the public. Almost 2 million visitors come every year to discover its rooms, work of art, and treasures that are unique in the world. It is home to a number of important artworks by painters. The royal palace dates back to the 18th century, but actually sits on the site of the old Alcazar of Madrid, a medieval fortress converted into a palace which King Philip II made the official residence of the kings of Spain in 1561. Now, the entire building is made of walls with no wood in the structure, which would guarantee the survival of a large part of the palace in the event of a fire. At the entrance of the royal palace, we see the statue of King Charles III. As we climb up the stairs at the entrance, there is a statue of King Charles dressed in Roman style, holding a long scepter in hand. The palace is incredibly superb with paintings, artworks, and the royal paraphernalia. However, there is only limited permission for photography. The splendor of the royal palace that you are going to see is what I could do best. So, enjoy it. Thank you. Hi friends, we are in a city called Toledo, which was the former capital of former capital of Spain. The Cathedral of Toledo is a Roman Catholic church which is an impressive example of medieval Gothic architecture. It was begun in 1226 under the rule of King Ferdinand III. It is built with white limestone. Toledo Cathedral is one of Spain's greatest and ranks among the top 10 cathedrals in Spain, and it is also the seat of the Metropolitan Archdiocese of Toledo. It measures 390 feet in length, 194 feet in width, and 146 feet in height, and contains 5 naves supported by 88 pillars and 72 vaults. The Toledo Cathedral contains more than 100 holy relics, and the following are the most important among them. Fragments of the lignum crucis, that is, the wood of the cross, the thorns of the crown of Christ, the purple tunic of Christ, the towel Jesus girded and washed the feet of the apostles on Good Friday, the sheet with which he wrapped his body in the womb and the clothes of his childhood, and also the milk of the Virgin Mary. The Vatican claims that the breast milk of Mary was first contained in milk grotto in Bethlehem. The milk made the rock white, and the powder from the rock was collected and venerated as it was believed to have healing powers. However, the reliquary of Toledo Cathedral is not accessible to tourists because of the spiritual, religious, and sacred character of the objects that these reliquaries have preserved since ancient times. The only way to visit the reliquaries is through the website of the Cathedral of Toledo. The Cathedral of Toledo is one of the 3 13th century high Gothic cathedrals in Spain and is considered to be the magnum opus of the Gothic style in Spain. There is also a statue of alabaster behind the choir inside Toledo Cathedral. We are on our way to Montserrat, which is a multi-peaked 4,055 feet high mountain range located 60 kilometers northeast of Barcelona in Catalonia, Spain. Montserrat literally means serrated mountain in Catalan language. Montserrat was designated as a national park in 1987.
प्रकृति से डर
Now we are at the gate of Santa Maria de Montserrat, the Montserrat Monastery, which is an important medieval abbey and one of the most important religious sites in Catalonia, Spain. The monastery of Montserrat has its historical origins in the hermitage of Santa Maria, which dates back to the year 888. In 1025 AD, Oliba, the abbot of Ripoll, founded this monastery at the hermitage of Santa Maria. Now, Montserrat is well known as the site of the Benedictine Abbey, which houses the 12th century wooden statue of the Virgin and Child, known as La Maraneta, that is, the Dark One, a Romanesque carving about 95 centimeters tall. It depicts the Virgin Mary holding the infant Jesus in her left arm and a globe with a cross on top in her right hand. The Montserrat Black Madonna is a miraculous statue that holds great significance in the Catholic faith, and she was proclaimed patron saint of Catalonia by Pope Leo XIII in 1881 during festivities for the coronation of the image of Our Lady. The Montserrat Black Madonna has a long and fascinating history. According to legend, the statue was discovered by shepherds in the mountains of Montserrat, who saw a bright light and heard angelic voices coming from a cave. When they investigated, they found the statue of the Virgin Mary holding the infant Jesus. Miracles are attributed to the Black Madonna enshrined in the basilica. Many people have reported experiencing physical and spiritual healings after praying to the statue. The statue has also been credited with protecting individuals in times of danger and helping people overcome difficult challenges in their lives. Once again, during the Spanish Civil War, with many of the priests and religious men and women living here killed. Today, built into the side of the mountains, the Montserrat Monastery functions with over 70 monks. This is a 2.9 kilometer long tunnel on the way to Seville in Spain. A very long tunnel, friends. Look at it, 2.9 kilometers long tunnel. I must say, Spain is a land of tunnels. Hi friends, Seville is the capital and largest city of the Spanish autonomous community of Andalusia. Seville is situated on the lower reaches of the river Guadalquivir in the southwest of the Iberian Peninsula. Andalusia is a large autonomous region of hills, rivers, and farmland bordering Spain's southern coast. It was under the Moorish rule from the 8th to 15th centuries. Andalusia has historically been an agricultural region compared to the rest of Spain and the rest of Europe. During the 18th century, Charles III of Spain promoted Seville's industries. The region has a rich culture and a strong identity. Many cultural phenomena that are seen internationally as distinctively Spanish are largely or entirely Andalusian in origin. These include the flamenco dance, bullfighting, and Hispano-Moorish architectural styles. Seville is the fourth largest city in Spain and the 26th most populous municipality in the European Union. The Seville harbor, located about 80 kilometers from the Atlantic Ocean, is the only river port in Spain. The Guadalquivir and its riverside is one of the most pleasant places in the city. Seville is approximately 2,200 years old. The passage of the various civilizations instrumental in its growth has left the city with a distinct personality and a large and well-preserved historical center. The writer Cervantes lived primarily in Seville between 1596 and 1600. Cervantes is regarded as the greatest writer in the Spanish language and one of the world's preeminent novelists. He is best known for his novel Don Quixote, a work often cited as both the first modern novel and the first great novel of world literature. What you see here is the famous bull ring in Seville, which has a capacity of 12,000 people. During the annual Seville Fair, it is the site of one of the most well-known bullfighting festivals in the world. The regular season goes from March or April until late September. This is the area by the Guadalquivir River, which is one of the most pleasant places in Seville city. People come here to relax by the riverside. Look at the design of the street lights. The Cathedral of Saint Mary of the Sea, better known as Seville Cathedral, is a Roman Catholic cathedral in Seville, Andalusia, Spain. It was recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. The Seville Cathedral is considered the largest Gothic cathedral in the world and also one among the largest cathedrals in the world. Incorporating part of the city's former main mosque, this was built under the Almohads in the 12th century. The current building is a massive Gothic structure which began in 1401 and finished in 1506, with the additional reconstruction occurring between 1511 and 1519. The Gothic section of the Seville Cathedral alone has a length of 413 feet, a width of 249 feet, and its maximum height in the center of the transept is 138 feet. The total height of the Giralda, the bell tower, from the ground to the weather vane is 342 feet, and its square base is 23 feet above sea level, and 44 feet long per side. Giralda, the bell tower, is one of the city's most prominent landmarks, which was formerly the minaret of the great Mosque of Seville, built by the Almohads. The cathedral has 80 chapels. It was reported in 1896 that 500 masses were said daily in the chapels. In the massive earthquake in 1888, the dome of the cathedral collapsed, which was later restored. Look at the two trams. Seville Cathedral has 15 doors on its 4 facades. This is the tomb of Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was from the Republic of Genoa, who completed 4 Spanish based voyages across the Atlantic Ocean, sponsored by the Catholic monarchs, opening the way for the widespread European exploration and European colonization of the Americas. He is famous for discovering the new world of the Americas on board his ship Santa Maria. In actual fact, Columbus did not discover North America. Columbus was knowledgeable in geography, astronomy, and history. He developed a plan to seek a western sea passage to the East Indies, hoping to profit from the lucrative spice trade. The Catholic monarchs, Queen Isabella I and King Ferdinand II, agreed to sponsor his journey. Columbus left Castile in August 1492 with 3 ships and made landfall in the Americas on 12th October. The Americas make up most of the land in Earth's western hemisphere and comprise the New World. Columbus's expeditions inaugurated a period of exploration, conquest, and colonization that lasted for centuries. Look at the view of sunset.
ಚಂದ ಬಂತು ಬಾರ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಬಂತಲ್ಲ
ಅಲ್ಲ Hi friends, welcome to Sagrada Familia, a church under construction in Barcelona, Spain for well over a century, that is since March 19, 1882 to be precise. It is the largest unfinished Catholic church in the world. Designed by the Catalan architect Antoni Gaudí, his work on Sagrada Familia is part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. On 7th November 2010, Pope Benedict XVI consecrated the church and proclaimed it a minor basilica. The Sagrada Familia, that is, the Holy Family, consisting of Saint Joseph, Mother Mary, and Jesus Christ, is one of a kind temple for its origins, foundation, and purpose. Fruit of the work of genius architect Antoni Gaudí, the project was promoted by the people and for the people. 5 generations now have watched the temple construction in progress. Today, more than 140 years after the laying of the cornerstone, construction still continues on the basilica. On 19th March 1882, construction of the Sagrada Familia began under architect Francisco de Villar. In 1883, when Villar resigned, Gaudí took over as chief architect, transforming the project with his architectural and engineering style, combining Gothic and curvilinear Art Nouveau forms. Gaudí devoted the remainder of his life to this project, and he is buried in the church's crypt. At the time of his death in 1926, less than a quarter of the project was complete. Relying solely on private donations, the Sagrada Familia construction progressed slowly and was interrupted by the Spanish Civil War. In July 1936, anarchists set fire to the crypt and broke their way into the workshop, partially destroying Gaudí's original plans. Construction resumed to intermittent progress in the 1950s, and construction passed the midpoint only in 2010. It was anticipated that the building would be completed by 2026, the centenary of Gaudí's death, but this has now been delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Some aspects of it may be complete only by 2040. Describing the Sagrada Familia, art critic Rainer Zerbst said, "It is probably impossible to find a church building anything like it in the entire history of art." The Sagrada Familia was inspired by a bookseller, Jose Maria Boccabella, founder of Spiritual Association of Devotees of Saint Joseph. After a visit to the Vatican in 1872, Boccabella returned from Italy with the intention of building a church inspired by the Basilica at Loreto. The apse crypt of the church, funded by donations, was begun on 19th March in 1882 on the festival of Saint Joseph to the design of the architect Francisco de Villar. The apse crypt was completed before Villar's resignation on 18th March 1883, when Antoni Gaudí assumed responsibility for its design, which he changed radically. Gaudí began work on the church in 1883, but was not appointed architect director until 1884. Gaudí's original design calls for a total of 18 spires, representing in ascending order of height the 12 apostles, the Virgin Mary, the 4 evangelists, and tallest of all, Jesus Christ. 13 spires have been completed as of 2023, corresponding to 4 apostles at the Nativity facade, 4 apostles at the Passion facade, 4 evangelists, and the Virgin Mary. The central spire of Jesus Christ is to be surmounted by a giant cross. Its total height, 172.5 meters or 565.9 feet, will be less than that of Montjuic Hill in Barcelona as Gaudi believed that his creation should not surpass God. Give us our daily bread in 50 different languages, including Sanskrit. Asmakam ayojaneyam aharam adya dehi. Give us this day our daily bread. Matthew chapter 6 verse 11. Gaudi used light to bring out the splendor and expressiveness of his architecture. Rays of light make the pinnacles that top the towers and windows shine. The sun in the east illuminates the portals on the nativity facade and accentuates the joy of life that is the birth of Jesus. On the passion facade, the contrasting light and shadows from the setting sun makes it feel even coarser and harsher, while on the glory facade, the midday sun will make the 16 lanterns on the monumental narthex shine and illuminate the main entrance to the basilica. Light not only shines into the Sagrada Familia through windows on the walls, but also through skylights in the vaults. And the purpose of this light shining harmoniously into the interior of the temple is none other than to convey the presence of God. Gaudi defended the theory that a properly inclined column is more stable than a vertical one. So, in the naves, he designed a structure of inclined columns that, based on the double twist column, create a space reminiscent of a forest, and that, given its characteristics, encourages introspection and prayer. Inside the temple, color is found not only in the stained glass windows, but also in the building materials themselves. Gaudi said that color is an expression of life, and that is why he wanted it to be a big part of the Sagrada Familia. Firm believer in the importance of color, which is ever present in nature, Gaudi made his temple very colorful, and he did so beyond just the stained glass windows, which he designed in a wholly unconventional manner. Valencia was founded as a Roman colony in 138 BC. The Latin name of the city was Valencia, meaning strength or valor, due to the Roman practice of recognizing the valor of former Roman soldiers after a war. The city's population thrived in the 15th century owing to trade with the rest of the Iberian Peninsula, Italian ports, and other Mediterranean locations, becoming one of the largest European cities by the end of the century. The port of Valencia is the fifth busiest container port in Europe and the second busiest container port on the Mediterranean Sea. The city is ranked as a Gamma level global city by the Globalization and World Cities Research Network. Valencia makes an excellent base for exploring Spain. Its central location on the east coast of Spain provides easy access to other major cities like Madrid and Barcelona by train. The city also has an airport that offers flights to various parts of Spain and Europe. English is spoken in Valencia, especially in areas frequented by tourists and in international business settings. However, the primary language spoken in Valencia is Valencian, which is a dialect of Catalan.
जिंदगी बिता दो पल जो ये जाने वाला है पल जो ये जाने वाला है आने वाला पल जाने वाला है एक बार वक्त से लम्हा गिरा कहीं एक बार वक्त से लम्हा गिरा कहीं.
This modern building with an ovoid roof designed by Santiago is called Hemisphere. It has a 3D cinema hall and a splendid planetarium. It has the shape of a human eye and is reflected in 24 square meters lake.
हमें तुमसे प्यार कितना ये हम नहीं जानते, मगर जी नहीं सकते तुम्हारे बिना। हमें तुमसे प्यार
This is the beach of Valencia. It's very windy. Yeah, you can see. I hope you can see the wind and how the wind is, blowing fast. Whoa. Can't imagine how fast the wind blows, and it could be very, very dangerous. So I just got down for a second and rushed back to the bus simply because I couldn't withstand the force of the wind, and I'm afraid I might be blown off. I might be blown off my feet. So it's quite dangerous. See, look at the waves, how the waves are. This old town of Valencia used to be a place where Romans resided, delimited by a great wall. This old town of Valencia is over 2,000 years old and has been the home to the Romans, Visigoths and Muslims since it was founded in 130 BC and is one of the largest historic centers in Europe. Walking through the streets of this old town of Valencia has its own charm, and in fact, it is to step back in time on a journey through Roman, Islamic and medieval history. The Serranos Towers, with a height of 33 meters, historically known as Torres de Serranos, were constructed at the end of the 14th century and retain their Gothic presentation. The Torres de Serranos were built between 1392 and 1398 by the architect Pierre Balaguer. It was the main entrance to the city and was originally built with a defensive function. These two sets of twin gate towers are the most tangible remains of the ancient walled city of Valencia. We are in the old town of Valencia. You can see the roadside eatery, which is a common sight here.
कहीं दूर जब दिन ढल जाए, सांझ की दुल्हन बदन चुराए, चुपके से आए। कहीं दूर जब दिन ढल जाए, सांझ की दुल्हन बदन चुराए, चुपके से आए।
We are now in the Virgin Square, which is the heart of Valencia's old town. A bronze statue of the Roman god Neptune sits on a platform in the center with a cascade of water flowing down to a lower level from all sides. The lower level contains bronze sculptures of 8 naked women. The fountain is an allegorical representation of Valencia's Turia River. The 8 statues of women have water pouring from jars representing the irrigation channels of the river and is named the Turia Fountain. This oval fountain is about 60 feet long and 26 feet wide. It was created by sculptor Sylvester Edetta and dedicated in 1976. We are now in the Basilica of the Virgin of the Forsaken. This Basilica of Our Lady of the Innocents, Martyrs and Helpless is another of Valencia Old Town's finest religious buildings. Relatively modern by Valencian standards, construction of this basilica was completed in 1667. This basilica, built in the Baroque style, pays homage to the city's patron saint, Virgin Mary. She is represented with a lily in one hand, with the baby Jesus carrying the cross in her arms. The image is characterized by having a slight forward inclination. For this reason, she is affectionately known among Valencians as La Jepardeta, that is, La Humpback. Our Lady of the Forsaken is a Catholic invocation of the Virgin Mary. The feast of our Virgin of the Forsaken is held on the second Sunday of May, when Valencians pay tribute to their patron. According to legend, 3 young men dressed as pilgrims arrived and offered to make an image of the Virgin within 3 days in exchange for their board. They were taken to a place known as the Hermitage. After 4 days, and without any sound emanating from within, the brothers forced the door open and found the image of the Virgin Mary. The mysterious pilgrims had disappeared. Shortly after, a paralyzed and blind woman, who was the wife of one of the brothers, was cured. The incident gave rise to the legend of El Ferren Els Angels, that is, the image made by the angels. Hi friends, welcome to the home to the Holy Chalice, Valencia Cathedral in Spain. Its full name is the Metropolitan Cathedral Basilica of the Assumption of Our Lady of Valencia. It is also known as St. Mary's Cathedral. This is a Roman Catholic church in Valencia, Spain. The cathedral was consecrated in circa 1238 by the first bishop of Valencia, and was dedicated to Saint Mary by order of King James I the Conqueror. In 1931, the church was declared a historic and artistic landmark by the Spanish government. Now let us proceed to the chapel of the Holy Chalice. A purported Holy Chalice, believed by many to be the true Holy Grail, is revered in the chapel of the Holy Chalice in the Valencia Cathedral. This has been the official chalice for many popes and has been used by many others, most recently by Pope Benedict XVI on July 9, 2006. This chalice, with the Arabic inscriptions, dates from the 1st century and was given to the cathedral by King Alfonso V. in 1436. The Holy Chalice is an agate cup preserved in the Cathedral of Valencia. The chalice is commonly credited as being the actual Holy Grail used by Jesus during the Last Supper and is preserved in this chapel where it still attracts the faithful on pilgrimage. The relic of Saint Vincent the Martyr, the incorrupt arm of Saint Vincent the Martyr, who lived between 1350 to 1419. The patron saint of Valencia city is one of the most venerated relics housed in the Cathedral of Valencia. It was donated to the cathedral by a family from Padua, Italy. In the ambulatory of this cathedral, the left arm of the saint is venerated. Saint Vincent the Martyr died on 5th April 1419 at Vannes in Brittany at the age of 69 and was buried in the Basilica Cathedral del San Pedro, Vannes, France.